Hey everybody, Pastor Steven Anderson here from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona. So I called up Patrick Boyle on the phone today and I asked him if he still believes that God forbid is a literal word-for-word translation from the Greek. And he said, yep, still believes that. Do you still believe that the King James was translated from over 5,000 Greek manuscripts? Yep, still believe it. He's standing by every word that was preached at that conference. What you're seeing on the screen here are images of the actual Greek Textus Receptus documents that were used to translate the King James Bible, and they all say the same thing. Remember, this phrase, God forbid, is used it's used 15 times in the New Testament, so it's not like it's used once. So you have all these Greek New Testaments, 15 mentions, they all say the exact same thing in every place, me genito, which does not literally translate God forbid. Now, God forbid is a great translation. The King James is 100% dead on with this. The King James is right. You can look it up and boom, the first definition there, God forbid, right? But that's not a literal translation. You can look up the two component words and see what they mean. The first one, me, is just the word not. This flows out of every Greek person's mouth every single day. They use the word not. Me. And then the other word is an ancient Greek word that they would not use today, genito, which if you look that up, it's the third person singular aorist middle optative of genome. And if you look up genome, then you'll see it means to be, to become, to come into being, to happen. So literally this would translate, let it not be, or let it not happen, or may it not happen, or whatever. It would be something along those lines, literally. But it's an expression or a figure of speech, so the King James Bible's translators translated it into an English expression, God forbid. But at this conference, they're denying that. They're just denying reality, even though there's just all this evidence and not one shred of evidence for what they're saying. What kind of a wild conspiracy would that be to think that somebody just went and changed every single Greek New Testament to just switch it out from literally saying God forbid to saying me genito, which means God forbid anyway, just not literally, okay? It's just a figure of speech, so it's dynamically equivalent, okay? But these guys went so far at the conference as to say, well, if it doesn't actually say in the original Greek, God forbid, well, then that makes the King James Bible wrong. The King James Bible is not every word of God then.
And yeah, like you were saying, if you can say that, well, God said this, but the translators wrote it this, like in that one in Romans chapter 5, then the King James wouldn't be every word of God, because those words were different. It'd be mostly the words of God, except where the King James took liberty. The translators took liberties and said, well, I know it says, let it not be, but look, we're just going to put God forbid. That's not every word God said. That's every word God said, and some what I said.
So basically, they're going to destroy people's faith in the King James, and they're claiming that they're doing this for the next generation. Well, what if the next generation is smart enough to actually look this up and see that what you've told them is a lie and that the facts aren't on your side? Folks, this is flat earth level denial of reality when it's right there in front of your face. You can look it up 15 times in Erasmus, 15 times in Stephanus, 15 times in Beza. You can look at every Textus Receptus on the planet, and it all says the same thing consistently 100% of the time, but just nope, sticking with what I believe, gonna stick with it. And in fact, if that doesn't literally say in the Greek, God forbid, well then you know what? Then the King James is not every word of God. Folks, that's the crap that's being taught at this conference, and you know what? It's garbage. It's nonsense, and people should not just sit back and allow someone to deny reality and tell them that a square is a triangle or that the sky is red when it's actually blue or whatever. God bless you. Have a great day.